Picture this. Beneath the cobbled, sun-drenched streets of Toledo, specifically tucked away in this narrow, kind of unassuming little spot called the Sangiovese Alley, lies a secret. And it's a secret that didn't just stay quietly buried in the dirt. It quite literally changed the destiny of an entire country. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're stepping out of the sunlight and way down into the shadows to unlock the mysteries of the ancient Roman ruins hidden deep beneath the city. It's a place that is so steeped in myth, absolute dread, and tangible reality that it's honestly hard to tell where the cold stone ends and the legend begins. Okay, let's dive right into this. I mean, seriously, what if opening a single door could destroy an entire empire? When we talk about the Cave of Hercules, we aren't just talking about your typical dusty archaeological site. What we are really looking at here is a tomb of ignored warnings. It's this incredibly gripping story of an ancient taboo, a sealed vault, and a single fatal moment of weakness that brought a massive, centuries-old kingdom crashing right down to its knees.
Setting the stage with Act 1, The Sealed Palace.
So for centuries, the Visigoth kings who ruled the Iberian Peninsula had this unbreakable, almost suffocating pact of silence about a dark, subterranean chamber. Every single time a new monarch ascended to the throne, they had to perform a very specific, very weird ritual. Their solemn duty wasn't to inspect the domain down there. It was to walk down into the dark and just add a brand new padlock to a door that was already heavy with them. And the number one rule? Never, under any circumstances, ask what lies inside. Nobody questioned it. Nobody dared. They just kept adding locks, generation after generation, compounding this really eerie, silent dread. And why the blind obedience? Well, it all boiled down to a chilling ancestral prophecy attached to that chamber. It simply read, "The day this door is opened, the kingdom will fall." Just imagine the psychological weight of those words on every single new king. The absolute certainty that your curiosity wouldn't just be the end of you, it would completely obliterate your entire civilization. It was the ultimate do not enter sign, backed by the promise of total annihilation. Moving right along to Act 2, a fatal curiosity. But of course, everything changes with the arrival of one guy, Don Rodrigo. The reigning monarch at the time had this fatal, unyielding curiosity. And this brings us to a massively pivotal year, 7011 AD. Rodrigo had just had enough of the mystery. Totally ignoring the horrified pleas of his advisors to honor the ancient pact, he ordered his men to take hammers and chisels straight to those ancient rusting locks. One by one, the iron symbols of his ancestors' restraint were just shattered and tossed aside. Finally, that last padlock falls. The heavy door yields with this deep, echoing groan of ancient stone. As the king's men raised their torches and stepped into the stagnant, centuries-old air, this chilling sensory experience just washed over them. The walls themselves literally seemed to be breathing omens. Illuminated by the flickering firelight were these prophetically painted frescoes. They depicted fierce, unknown riders wearing turbans, carrying unfamiliar foreign standards, and wielding sharp, curved swords. It was a terrifying vision of an army that was completely alien to the Visigoths. The contrast here is just staggering when you really think about it. You've got centuries of sacred tradition from kings who were humble enough to leave a forbidden door alone, entirely obliterated by a single doomed king's action. And the crazy part? Surrounded by these terrifying murals, Rodrigo doesn't turn back. Instead, his eyes lock onto this mysterious, ornate chest sitting dead in the center of the dark chamber. With trembling hands, ignoring every single instinct and every warning from his ancestors, he reaches out to open it. Now, inside that cursed chest, there wasn't gold, no jewels. It was just a tightly rolled piece of canvas. But unrolling it revealed a vivid, horrifying painting of those exact same North African warriors actively invading the peninsula. And written right across the canvas was a terrifying inscription in Latin, "When this seal is broken, these men will conquer Spain." In that exact, heart-stopping moment, the king realized he hadn't just uncovered a secret, he had actively triggered a curse. Which brings us to Act 3, the historical fallout. This is where the spooky, mythological prophecy slams headfirst into crushing historical reality. And the speed of this collapse, it's breathtaking. In 711 AD, the seals are broken. Literally just months later, Muslim troops from North Africa crossed the Strait of Gibraltar, the exact warriors depicted on that canvas. They clash at the massive Battle of Guadalete, and just like that, the mighty Visigothic kingdom, an empire that had stood firm for generations, crumbles into absolute dust. And what about the man whose curiosity literally doomed a nation? Well, Don Rodrigo became the absolute last Visigoth king. Following the total disaster at the Battle of Guadalete, he vanished without a single trace. Now, historically speaking, it's highly likely he was simply killed in the muddy, chaotic combat. But local Toledo folklore? It offers a much more chilling end. Legend says he fled back to his capital and was cursed to wander the dark, subterranean depths of the cave of Hercules for all eternity, forced to forever contemplate the absolute devastating error of his arrogance. You'd think the story ends there, right? But the legends insist this subterranean labyrinth held way more than just a cursed chest. It was also said to be the hiding place of the Visigothic horde, specifically the legendary Table of Solomon. This was a magnificent, mythical artifact of unimaginable power, originally looted from the great temples of Rome. When the chaos of the invasion swept through Toledo, this incredible treasure vanished into the dark, supposedly lost forever within those very same winding tunnels. So, what's the real takeaway here? The crucial point is separating the myth from the actual physical dirt and stone. The Cave of Hercules isn't just some fairy tale. It is a tangible location situated right in the historical heart of Toledo, in the Castellón de San Ginés. In reality, modern archaeology tells us these are 1st century AD Roman subterranean spaces, likely ancient water reservoirs. And honestly, the best part? It's a physical place that you can actually visit today. You can walk down into the stone depths and feel the chill of history yourself. Though, tantalizingly enough, parts of the cave complex remain strictly sealed off. Which really leads us to our final thought for this explainer. As you walk the sunlit streets of modern-day Toledo, it's virtually impossible not to wonder about the dark, silent world resting just beneath your feet. There are still unexplored, sealed tunnels down there, blocked off by time, crumbling Roman stone, and perhaps by design. What other secrets are waiting in the dark to be discovered, or are there some doors that are simply better off remaining locked and buried forever? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and always keep questioning what lies beneath the surface.